Welcome to day 348 of the New Way. I'll read Luke 24:17 through 27. He asked them, "What are you discussing together as you walk along?" They stood still, their faces downcast. One of them, named Cleopas, asked him, "Are you the only one visiting Jerusalem who does not know the things that have happened there in these days?" "What things?" he asked. "About Jesus of Nazareth," they replied. "He was a prophet, powerful in word and deed before God and all the people. The chief priest and our rulers handed him over to be sentenced to death, and they crucified him. But we had hoped that he was the one who was going to redeem Israel. And what is more, it is the third day since all this took place. In addition, some of our women amazed us. They went to the tomb early this morning, but didn't find his body. They came and told us that they had seen a vision of angels who said he was alive. Then some of our companions went to the tomb and found it just as the women had said, but they did not see Jesus." He said to them, "How foolish you are, and how slow to believe all that the prophets have spoken. Did not the Messiah have to suffer these things and then enter his glory?" And beginning with Moses and all the prophets, he explained to them what was said in all the scriptures concerning himself. Now, we've already established that these two travelers were followers of Jesus. When they began to explain what had been happening in Jerusalem the last few days, how did they describe Jesus? They said in verse 19, "He was a prophet, powerful in word and deed before God and all the people." Now, a prophet was someone chosen by God to give someone or a group of people his message. So Jesus does qualify in that definition. So why can't we just leave it there and believe that he was just a prophet? Because Jesus claimed to be God. Let me read Deuteronomy 18:20 from the Jewish law. "But a prophet who presumes to speak in my name anything I have not commanded, or a prophet who speaks in the name of other gods, is to be put to death." Any prophet who tries to claim that there is a God different from Yahweh, the Jewish God, should be stoned to death according to God's law. So these early followers of Jesus are still trying to figure things out. I'll read Luke 21:21. They said, "But we had hoped that he was the one who was going to redeem Israel. And what is more, it is the third day since all this took place." Did you notice that had hoped or had trusted was in past tense? Does that mean that since Jesus had died, they quit hoping or trusting that he was the Messiah? I believe these early followers of Jesus were totally clueless as to what was happening, even though Jesus had repeatedly told them what to expect. What did Jesus say and do in response to their story? I'll reread Luke 24:25 through 27. He said to them, "How foolish you are, and how slow to believe all that the prophets have spoken. Did not the Messiah have to suffer these things and then enter his glory?" and beginning with Moses and all the prophets, he explained to them what was said in all the scriptures concerning himself. I believe that Jesus reminded them of the 300 plus prophecies from the Jewish scripture, our Old Testament, that pointed to him. Oh, how I would like to have heard Jesus teaching about all that was prophesied about him. How sweet to be able to hear how God created the cocoon to birth the butterfly, told by the Messiah himself. We get no indication that they interrupted or questioned or debated any of this. I think they just listened in amazement. We'll continue this story next time. In his service, Dale.